and welcome to the Robbie's Backstage Bants, Ratatouille, the TikTok musical special episode. That was a mouthful. Now before this episode starts, I just want to say, you can donate to both Acting for Others and the Actors Fund throughout this if you just head down to the description. All I'm doing this episode is I'm chatting with some of the cast and creatives of Ratatouille, the musical, to find out more about it. So let's roll the clips.
So my first guest is Blake Rouse. I mean, hi, how you
Hello.
doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm really, really good. It's such an honor to be chatting with you. I mean, after seeing all your songs on TikTok, and then you're sat in the Zoom with me now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
So first, before we get into anything, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
So my name is Blake Rouse. I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior in high school. I live in Fort Collins, Colorado, in the United States, and I love doing music. I love writing music. I love recording music, producing it. I love musical theater.
Me too.
And I have for such, I mean, yeah, because I wouldn't be involved in this Ratatouille project if I didn't like musical theater. I
Yeah.
would be hating my life right now. But I've loved music for as long as I could possibly remember, pretty much my entire life. And yeah, I got a crappy microphone probably like 6 years ago, and since then I've just been teaching myself how to like record and produce my own music. And yeah, earlier, probably like a couple of months ago, probably like late October, I had this Ratatouille project thing make its way to my homepage on TikTok,
Yeah,
and I know I
as
had
did we
to
all.
be involved in it. Yeah, exactly.
It just appeared. So I'm assuming you saw the original and then you were just like mind blown, or is
So I'm gonna tell you something a little embarrassing.
go for it.
Prior to the project to like people talking about Ratatouille the musical, I had never seen it in full.
All right.
I knew the like premise, and I knew all the characters, and I knew that it was great because it's Pixar and they can't really do anything wrong.
That's true.
But I had never seen it, and so probably a day before I wrote the first song, I sat down and I watched it, and it's obviously it's incredible, but it's definitely an embarrassing thing for me to say that I never saw it up until I had to.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It's a good,
I like it.
it's a good one. It's a good one. I still need to meet Ratatouille. No, I have met. I've met Remy. That's a thing.
You've met Remy?
I've met Remy. I've met Emil. We're sorted. I should have told them the
Yeah,
song.
right. Yeah,
I should have just went right, guys. Here we go. Seven.
I appreciate it. That's a very nice thing of you to do.
Well, yeah, as you do. But
Exactly.
so how your songs? Talk just about your songs then, if people haven't heard them.
Yeah. So I again probably about like late October. Josh Abram, the guy who ran sort of the first Ratatouille account, posted a video, and it was just kind of like an open call to like
Yeah.
creators to like create stuff. And he was like, everyone just create as much content as you possibly can, because we need this to go viral, even more than it already was. And so I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I will, because I had nothing else going on. And so I sat down, I watched the movie, and then a user on the account posted her like song ideas for the show. And she was like, she was just like listing off all these ideas, and then one of the ideas was a tango between Colette and Linguini.
Yeah.
And I was like, that one, I'm gonna do that one. That one's funny. That one's really funny. And I love the idea of a tango. I love all the layers. I love the Latin instruments and the rhythms, and just like how everything is just super mysterious sounding. And I knew that it would be funny if I made a training tango song. And I sat down and I produced it, and then I added lyrics and music, and I recorded it the next day, and then I uploaded it.
Wow.
And
Very
yeah.
quick process then.
Yeah, it was so fast. It I was not expecting it. Like I truly did not pour my heart and soul into it whatsoever. And I don't know if that's like, take that as you will. I'm like, because I didn't know that this was going to be something that like
No.
people. I didn't know it was going to be something that took off. I thought it was going to be like a very small TikTok joke, and so I kind of didn't spend that much time on it. And I kind of wish I did a little bit more, but also I'm kind of happy where it
I
is.
like
And
it where it is.
I thank you. I appreciate it. So like there was a part of me that was kind of conflicted in that way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and then so everyone loves the tango. Then you
Thank
did
you.
another one. You just rolled out another one. You thought, you know what, one's not enough. Not for me. I'm doing another one.
Well, so yeah, so that was really cool. I did the tango, and I saw the growth of the tango, and I saw that it got traffic.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks later, I woke up one morning and I had this melody in my head. And I like, I'm not saying that I like dreamt the melody, but I did wake up and I was kind of like na 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 na, and
Yeah.
I was like, huh, that's kind of an insanely catchy melody. That could be another Ratatouille song. And I like shot up from my bed and like went directly to my computer, and I I really wanted it to be like super fast paced, like something that people could dance to,
Yeah.
kind of like a big opener, and like a super ensemble heavy number kind of dealio. And I I recorded it and I put it on TikTok, and that surprised me by getting the same amount, maybe even more traffic than the tango.
Yeah.
That was like that really caught me off guard, and I'm very thankful for that. But it was very like, I did not expect that to like get to where it was. But yeah.
So are both songs going to be featured in the show? Is this a thing that's confirmed?
Yes, I
Wow.
see. I thought that they would have released the track list by now.
I know. I was sort of expecting that
And
one.
I am under contract. So for a while I was kind of like hesitant about like saying what songs are like in
Yeah.
and not. And so like I think that it was Playbill that was like, there are going to be 11 songs in it. And I was like, okay, I think now I'm allowed to like tell
Yeah.
people.
Surely.
And so yeah, I'm having those two in the show, which is
I
super cool.
mean,
Great
we
opportunity.
sort of guessed because obviously they announced the list of you guys that were involved, but
Yeah.
you don't know for certain, you know, because you've done two.
Yeah.
Like, which ones are going to be? Both of them.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so
Both of
good.
them. Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you.
I'm very highly considering covering Rat's Way of Life. I mean, I found
No way.
I got this jumper is perfect, isn't it?
Yes. That
So
is perfect.
that's going on, and I might release that along with the show going out.
Yeah, you totally should.
Who knows?
I literally, you totally should, because that would be such a fun thing to see.
That'd
I
be good. I'll definitely
yeah,
send it your way if that does, which I think it will.
I am in full support of that.
I'm so ready. I am so ready for this. I mean, we're getting the digital playbills 4 hours before, so
Yeah, yeah, it's I still don't know what they're gonna look like,
no,
because I had to do some, like, I had to submit some stuff for it, and I haven't gotten anything, because people have been asking me like, are you gonna get a preview of the show? Are you gonna
I had
get a
anything.
preview of the playbill? I don't know anything. I will be like the same, like, I'm just as much of a viewer as anyone else is.
Wow, so you didn't even have to like work with the cast on your song or anything, and they're just been
No, yeah. So I don't know if you know Daniel Mertzluft. I'm assuming you probably know him. He's sort of like the music arranger, coordinator, manager
yeah.
of this whole project. And so he is sort of the one that I've been going to with all of my questions. And I pretty much get a call from him like every day, of him either asking me to do something or write something new or submit something. And so he's kind of my like contact person.
Yeah.
of just like he is talking to everyone, and I am not talking to everyone, so therefore I am talking to him.
Just to keep things simple.
Right, yeah, and
Yeah.
he's definitely sick and tired of my phone calls to him at like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, how long is it gonna be? And he's like, Blake, you need to not call me at
Leave me
this
alone,
time.
thank you. Delete my number. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. No. So that's really exciting. I cannot wait. I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I'm glad to hear it.
I mean,
I
it's gonna
cannot
be
wait.
midnight. It's gonna be midnight here when it first goes on.
Really?
I'm highly considering just staying awake.
You totally should.
I will. I mean, I may as well. It's
Yeah.
special, isn't it? You know.
Take a little power nap and then
And yeah,
you'll
you
be good to
know,
go.
that's not a bad idea because obviously, you know, New Year's Eve today.
Yeah, well, it was so that it's funny because it is not New Year's Eve
Is it
for
not?
me. No, not yet. So I think you're I think that or no, it is.
It is now.
Oh, it is. You're right. Wait, I just had like an existential like thing because like all the days are kind of like morphing together right now.
I'm lost.
Yeah, it's like the weeks or the days between the like winter holidays and
Yeah.
then New Year's are like
It's
just
that week.
one,
You're just like,
just
where am I?
one
Am I
like
still
long.
in this? No, I'm not. It's
Right, yeah.
it
So that it would totally took over for a second. Yes, it is New Year's Eve.
is. So it'll be 2021.
Yes, it
Wow.
will be.
We made it,
Celebration.
guys.
So excited.
Apart from that, thank you so much for coming in and chatting about
Of
the
course.
rats.
Yes, of course. Anytime. I actually I'm so glad that you asked me to come here because I had nothing going on today, and so
Oh
I
well,
was like,
brilliant. I'm so glad I
to
could
wake up
fill
early. I
the
get to,
gap.
yeah.
Super exciting. I mean, the fact
so
that
glad.
TikTok wrote this and then we're in.
Yeah. It's definitely it's something that has never happened before, and it's cool to be like semi a part of it and like watch it like firsthand. It's pretty cool.
I mean, technically, you're a Broadway lyricist.
Technically, I mean, I guess it's part of me is like weird thinking that, and I'm like, I don't.
I mean, surely you'll be in the playbill as well.
Yeah, it's still so weird.
That's
I
mad.
can't. I have like I just like I'm still because like if you told like Blake in like May that all of this would be happening right now, he would not believe you because back then I had like, and I would never in a million years like care about the amount of followers that I have or like the amount of likes that I get because like no matter what I love making things and I like posting videos and but like back then I only had like 1,000 followers and I was still like doing pretty much the same thing that I'm doing right now, which is just like funny music related things that I enjoy doing and then uploading them. And yeah, if you went back in time and you were like, hey, you're gonna write this rat song and you're gonna be kind of technically on Broadway.
Wow.
Like I would probably pass out.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone would, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, anyway, thank you so much for this. This has
Of
been such
course.
good insight. But
Yeah.
apart from that, I think I'll move on to the next guest. Right. So now I'm joined by the lovely JJ. Now, the first thing I'm going to ask you today is just who are you and what did you do in Ratatouille? What was the whole situation with that?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is JJ Niemann. I am an actor in New York City and I was in the vocal ensemble and dance ensemble of Ratatouille, the musical.
Yeah, dance. I mean, how did that work? How did you get taught that? How did you film, you know, just the whole shebang?
Yeah, it was tricky at first. We actually learned the process was very, very, very quick. Which I don't know if you talked to anybody yet as of this meeting, but the turnaround was like less than 2 days to send our videos in after we learned everything. So we had a 3-hour Zoom rehearsal,
Wow.
The two of the dancers, Joy and myself, and we literally just I was fortunate enough to have a studio that my friend let me use for the day, and we went in. Eleanor, the choreographer, and her associate Jeffrey taught us the choreo in like 2.5 hours. And then they were like, okay, now fly, like go film it. So we learned it really quickly. Yeah.
That's shocking, especially like the tap break. I'm so surprised that you managed to learn it that fast. Well, I guess, it's what you guys haven't been able to do for the past God knows how many months now. So I suppose you were ready to go with it. But
oh yeah. And we actually I recorded a few things that actually didn't get used. There was like an improv section. I recorded also the feet like waist down for Skinner, Mary Testa, to be on the top. Like, how on TikTok sometimes people like duet someone and there's like someone clapping on the bottom and then on the top they're like sipping a cocktail. So that's kind of what the mood was. So I did like a little top break for her that didn't end up making an edit. And then I actually recorded the dance and then recorded the audio of my tap sounds in tap shoes, like doing the same dance but in tap shoes, so that they could overlay it. So like it was a lot of pieces. We had to film like everything in like also 1 minute segments or less because we were using the clone filters and things. So yeah,
I mean, it looked amazing. I'll put it that way.
I'm glad.
I was, it was it came on about midnight here, I think. That's when the show officially, and I was like, I'm not going to bed. I'm watching this now. And then I was like, oh wow. Because I didn't know obviously how it was going to work with the choreography and everything, but that just looked so cool. Like,
well, and it's one of those things that when you're working on it, you don't know what the final product's gonna look like, and you're like, I hope this looks okay, like when it's all together. So
I don't think many of you weren't really involved much else. You were given what you were given, and that was that, really, wasn't it? You didn't.
Yeah, I was one of the only people. I had to do both the singing and the dancing, and so there were even a lot of songs that we were singing background on that, like a lot of the vocal ensemble, we weren't seeing. Like we were singing on Rat's Way of Life. We were all of those background vocals. There were like 6 of us who did that. And also Anyone Can Cook, the opening. And a lot of us had to record also multiple vocal parts because there were only 6 of us and they wanted it to sound 12 people, So we had to do all of that. So filming, we did like a 2-hour Zoom call, and doing a music rehearsal over Zoom is even trickier because literally they're like, you can't sing it. So they're like, okay, so this song, at this measure, you sing tenor 1, you sing tenor 2, and then can you record both parts here? You do this solo, make sure to cut off on 4 here, cut off on 3 here, and go have fun. And so we all had to go and record like our raw vocals with our mics into GarageBand and send those in, and then send in some videos of us lip syncing to them for the finale and the mega mix at the end. So it was honestly a lot of work, and that was the week of Christmas. So the 3 days leading up to Christmas Eve, I was like frantic. I literally was like running like a madman, and I was like, I just have to send this in. I can't be a perfectionist about it. Like some of it's not going to be absolutely perfect, and that's
I mean, it was really nice because there was bits of choreography. I mean, you can't exactly think, oh well, there could have been choreography here. You guys had like 6 weeks, and you didn't even have that really to film and learn and everything. So,
because they also had to go through the whole process of writing everything, the orchestrations, getting all the approvals. Yeah. So by the time that it got to us to learn everything, it was essentially 3 days that we did everything in.
Yeah. And then obviously you have to get all edited together, so you've got even less time. So
it's crazy.
It was for what you guys did, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I wrote my review on it, not to plug anything, but that'll be in the description. Because I was just like, wow, I think I must have watched it about 12 times in the given time that we had.
Oh my gosh!
I think I've watched it 12 because I'm just obsessed now.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. I love that. I know, it's like last night, I mean, obviously this might not be posted today or tomorrow, but last night was like when it stopped being streamed, and it kind of felt like a closing night, and we have like a group chat now of all of us.
Oh, really?
And of like specifically all of the like TikTokers and a lot of the creators and stuff. And so I like, we're all like, why does it feel like we're literally closing a show tonight?
I'm like, so sad.
Yeah.
I was sad. I was like, you what?
Oh,
No.
We'll see what happens from here. I have hopes for things to happen. But
I mean, we proved that it could happen.
Yeah. And
Which
honestly,
would work.
it would be really, really good as a fully staged musical. And there is
I
so much
agree.
even more you could flesh out and do with it. And if I can see it, I know other people can too. You
Oh
know?
yeah, absolutely. No, I was definitely thinking we need to get this full on stage.
Yeah.
Even if it just ends up being like a thing that like kids writes, you know, like schools and
Sure, of course.
but it would be really nice to have a fully Broadway production, you know. How did it come about for you getting into the show then?
So I was like one of the people who was posting about it from the get-go. Like when
Yeah,
Dan
I saw
used it,
this.
yeah, the one of like rehearsing it in the Broadway,
Yeah.
rehearsing Ratatouille on Broadway. So I was using people's sounds. I didn't write any of the music for it, but I
Yeah.
used people's sounds to make videos. And so Dan and I, who made that arrangement and ended up writing like Remember My Name, the big Remy song.
Okay.
He and I are so good. He is incredibly talented. And so we're friends on social media now and everything.
Yeah.
And literally I saw Ratatouille was happening and I was like, a lot of people would just sit on the sidelines and be like, oh, well, I guess I didn't get asked. And I literally messaged him and I was like, I would love to be a part of this.
Yeah. I mean,
and sometimes
fair
you have
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I messaged him and I was like, I don't know how much is cast by then. And I think by then they had like reached out to some leads and stuff preliminarily before they even just like announced it. But he was like, oh my gosh, I would love to use you for the ensemble vocals. We need people for vocals for several songs. And things like that. I was like, perfect. And then separately, the choreographer, Eleanor Scott, reached out to me and literally slid into my Instagram DMs. So that's how you know it's 2020.
Not many can say that.
Which is really cool, honestly, because Eleanor knew me from TikTok and had seen me dancing and stuff, so knew I was part of the community and like a good dancer.
Yeah.
And also, I had auditioned for her in New York like 3 or 4 times. She was the associate for Cats, Head Over Heels, King Kong, Reefer Madness, and then just did the Little Shop of Horrors revival off Broadway herself. She said that herself, but she's been associate for a lot of shows. And so I've been following her career, and like every time I'm in an audition for her, I'm just like, this woman is amazing. And so the fact that she reached out to me, I was like, absolutely, yes, I will do this.
No, but you know, you've danced alongside Mary Tessa now, so that's another thing you can have for your
really cool.
not an everyday thing, is it?
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
I love it. And the costumes as well. I'm assuming you guys got sent some things, but other things were your own.
Yeah, they just sent us pretty much the ears and the chef's hats, and they were like, wear blacks and wear like white button down for the chef's stuff.
It was beautiful. But I think that's all we can really milk out of a little conversation about a gorgeous little musical. So I'm going to thank you for joining me.
Of course.
I'm going to slide to the next guest. So now I'm joined by Nathan. So the first thing I'm going to ask you today is, what was your role? Who are you? And what have you done for Ratatouille?
Hi, I'm Nathan Fosbinder. I'm a composer, usually based out of New York. And I wrote Linguini's Anyone Can Cook, so the song that Andrew Barth Feldman sang.
It was so beautiful.
That kid is talented.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you wrote the original thing, you managed to get him to sing it as well.
Yeah, Andrew and I have been friends for a little over 2 years, like right before he played Evan Hansen on Broadway.
Yeah, wow. That's so cool. And I think from that moment on, the world knew this is what we needed for Linguini, you know?
Well, people on TikTok had been casting it as like Ben Platt, Taylor Trench, like other Evan Hansens. And I was
Evan
like,
Hansen.
What about Andrew?
What about Andrew? I think he's perfect, really.
Absolutely. He got the mannerisms down and it was amazing.
He just looked so much, honestly. Like I mean, obviously I wrote a review on the show and I did say how much his likeness was to, honestly. Wow.
Absolutely. He looks just like him.
Incredible. But your song, wow. I mean, how did you, what came in your mind when you wrote that?
It's kind of what Daniel has been saying about, he wanted to write a big I Want song, like a big Disney song. And I listened to a few Alan Menken, like some of the classic Disney songs, and just imagined Andrew's voice getting to be so expansive, but also be quirky and silly.
Yeah.
So I just, that first like every day, I just wanted it to sound magical and tinkly, and then and Andrew sang it down.
Yeah. So how much did you get to work with like the orchestra really. And for your song, did you get any input on how that was orchestrated, or was that just?
So not to get Andrew in any trouble, but he was sending me some little updates as it went, and so I got to hear a little bit, and I heard like a MIDI mock-up of it, but I hadn't heard. I knew that they had added a first verse, and I worked on the lyrics with Dan and Kate, the lyricist, a little bit, just bouncing back some ideas. But I wrote like a few, and then Andrew was like, hey, actually, we're not sure if that's going to work. What about this? So then I sent him like 4 over text, like 4 versions of what if it's this? So I didn't even know which one they were going to use. But I'd never heard it.
Yeah,
I'd never heard it with that full incredible orchestra until everyone else did. So I was on my living room floor like bawling.
Same. I mean, I was from the overture. I was like, just everything about that show. The orchestra are incredible.
I think that's one of the things that I've been missing most about theater is like that incredible
that's
sound.
What it is. You get your live stream performance, but it's just not the same. When you perform and sing with backing tracks, but that was just something else, man.
Absolutely.
That was really, really great. And I can imagine how emotional you must have felt hearing that, especially, I wrote that,
Well, and it was fun of like, oh, Andrew sang along with my little kind of karaoke track, and now he's doing it for real.
Yeah.
Because I think, other than Kevin Chamberlain, but he was singing his own song.
Yeah.
Vinder's the only one that was the same from the TikTok to the performance. So it felt like rehearsal to performance, and that we haven't had that in a long time.
No, I do think we need the orchestra backing tracks now. Thank you. This is something.
I agree.
This is something.
I want my own karaoke version.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great, because I think the whole thing's come such a long way from one TikTok to this. And I know Disney aren't particularly keen on the idea, but I'd love to see more done with it.
I completely agree.
It deserves so much more. This is what we were saying. It deserves a lot more than just one little stream performance. We need Broadway.
And I think especially that new song, the Titus song, like you could just feel the energy of like that needs to be on a stage. That when it's safe to do so, that needs an audience to respond.
I mean, look at how much we raised. Look at how popular it was. I don't see how we could not do anything with this now.
Well, and now people feel involved. Now people feel like they've seen the genesis of it, now kind of like where it's come. And I think people, that's something that only TikTok has been able to do, is like give the audience such a big hand in what ends up being the product. And
it came out amazing. I mean, the only criticism I had for the entire thing is we needed it longer.
I agree. And more songs.
Yeah,
for sure.
More songs. Yeah, exactly. Because, there's a few things that could have been done, but obviously there was no time. You guys had a quick turnaround as well.
And I mean, my involvement was kind of limited because Dan Mertzloff TikTok messaged me and was like, hey, I need your email. They're going to do this thing. And then like 2 weeks later, it was being recorded and produced. So
wow.
He did a little bit of an interview about like, he was up till 5 a.m. on Christmas, like downloading tracks to the Google Drive. So they worked so quickly.
Yeah, and they've done so well. I mean, all of you have. That's just incredible that you all managed to get this done.
I'm just glad people liked it, because I knew my contribution, but I didn't know what it was going to look like.
No, it was really, really great, because obviously I had heard a few of the songs through TikTok, but I didn't know it was going to be that good, I was like, I know some of the songs. I love Ratatouille. Let's just give it a watch. But I've been blown away, honestly blown away. A big props to everybody. I mean, the cast, everyone who wrote songs, everybody.
Well, I didn't know any of the other contributors. I knew of some people, but now we have, like, we're all texting back and forth. That's, and we've made a TikTok chain, and it's very cool. It's very silly. I'm just lucky to be a part of it.
It's such a good community as well. And that's the thing, like, we're so lucky that we can do things like this online, and it shows how resilient our industry is as well.
Absolutely. I think that's the big takeaway. And You know, in America being told like New York City is dead and things like that. I thought it was a really good punchback of like, no. Here's what we can do.
We can still go. And obviously it's just like a chance for everyone to perform and do what they do best, which is great seeing that. And it did make me quite emotional, you know? It's just seeing things like that. It's so cool as well that we've just gone, take that, and we've given, and we've proved that Ratatouille the musical can happen.
That was a takeaway too. There are a lot of people who I think honestly they just wanted to interact with the meme when it was happening, but there were a lot of people saying why it couldn't happen and why it would never happen. And you know, no hate to them, but it did, and it showed that like some smart producers who know how to engage with the moment and engage with the TikTok part of it can make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gone absolutely crazy. Everybody's loved it, and so like a big well done, you know. That's everything. But apart from that, I think that's all really to cover. That is Ratatouille in a nutshell.
In a vegetable plate, I don't know.
Yeah, in a dish. I don't know. Something like that. Gotta get the puns in there somehow.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute
thanks for having me.
And now we'll slide on to my final guest. So my last guest today is Jess. Now, the first thing I want to ask you to do is just sort of tell us who you are and your involvement in the show.
Yeah, I'm Jess Siswick, and I designed the poster art for Ratatouille the musical.
Yeah. How did that enter your brain? I mean, look at it.
I really wanted to contribute to this amazing trend, and I didn't have any songwriting skills at all, but I am a graphic designer, and I fit right into that center Venn diagram of Disney fan and musical fan. So like Ratatouille the musical. It was something I really wanted to get on board with, and I'm a graphic designer, so I thought like, how can I make the poster? I've done a lot of like community theater posters. I did a High School Musical, Hairspray, Footloose. And I love designing for them. I love trying to capture the essence of the show in one single image. And I really wanted to combine all the stuff that was on TikTok with the movie. And the thing that sticks out to me about the movie is that the beautiful plating of the ratatouille at the end with the stacked vegetables. And then the line that I couldn't get out of my head was Remy the Ratatouille. So I thought, like, how could I combine those two things? And I
is the Ratatouille.
So I decided, like, I was going to make the ratatouille in the shape of a rat. And I initially wanted to put them on a plate, but then the plate looked too busy, and then putting it on a fork, and then that was just it.
I mean, even with the tail, just everything has worked out so well. And now everyone is using that image for Ratatouille. I mean, that must be something on a playbill, you know, that was.
Yeah. Playbill contacted me about, like a few days after I put it on TikTok, and they said, hey, we want to make a mock-up playbill. And who knew that, like, 6 weeks down the line, there would be a real playbill.
I mean, that with shipping costs, couldn't quite afford. So, you know, the digital one worked quite nicely for me.
Okay, as long as you have the digital one.
As long as I've got it, you know, it's there. You know, might print it out, you know, that might be good. But that is it. The first thing is it looks beautiful, you know.
Oh, thank you so much.
That embodies everything. He is the Ratatouille for a start. So if anyone ever asks, is Remy the Ratatouille? Yes. In the poster, Remy is the Ratatouille. So is that how it happened then? Playbill just sort of contacted you, and then from there.
Playbill contacted me, and then I thought that was awesome. That was really great. And I thought that was that. And then I got a phone call from an advertising agency who said, we've just started working on this big project. We'd love you to be involved. And that's when I found out that the concept was happening. And I just was running into this. Like the next day we had a meeting. I got all my assets ready, handed them over. I did some animation for them. I handed it over. And 2 days later, I was seeing my design up on the St. James Theatre in New York, like on a Broadway marquee, and it was incredible.
Oh, and then it went on to be on taxis and everything in New York. I mean, that's just
taxis, buses.
Yeah. I mean, that is wild. Especially to say you designed it because of a TikTok as well, you know? And because of your love for Disney. I mean, Ratatouille, great movie. Ratatouille the musical. I couldn't stop watching it when I could watch it. Now, I can't.
I know, it's so sad.
I know Disney have sort of said it's not really a thing, but I really hope that it gets developed further. Every hope that it could go further.
It's really great songs in it.
There is
really great songs.
There is so much opportunity for more. There is so much more we could do with that, so we need to. Please, Disney. Disney, please. Even if they just staged it in the Disney parks.
Like Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, or like on the cruise and then film it like they did with Tangled. And that sort of situation, which as long as it's on stage, just give it. I mean, something that really made me laugh the other day was that you showing Priscilla Lopez the
Well, that's because most of the comments that I get on my original TikTok is like, I've just noticed it's a rat. I've just noticed that it's So, and when I saw that and that she looks slightly off to the corner, that's when I saw prime opportunity.
That was perfect. That is one of my favorite parts of the show. Is that a rat? Yeah, just everything. It's just the whole thing, though. Everyone's come together to make something absolutely incredible there. I'm so pleased that we've proved that it can happen.
Yeah, it's really crazy how it all came together, and it's so nice to connect with these new young talented people. Absolutely. And to have this shared experience with them. It's been a blast.
I mean, the cast were amazing. I just wish we could have Ratatouille merch. The designs,
I wish too, but unfortunately the only thing that you can buy is a playbill, and I'm so sorry to the people of the UK, my family included, that they cannot get a playbill because of shipping costs, and I'm so sorry.
It'll be fine. I mean, maybe one day, you know, we might end up heading over to the States specifically to get a playbill for Ratatouille. Just quickly, gonna live over in the States till it gets delivered, and then I'll come back home. Just to get the playbill. That's all I want.
Just to get the playbill.
That's all I want.
I really appreciate that determination. Because that's the story of Ratatouille, is the determination, and I can see that there.
I'll go live in an old lady's house, you know, but then we'll go down the sewers, and I'll wake up in New York, and I'll find the playbill, and that is the story of Robbie the rat. If I was a rat, I mean, I'm not, but for the story's sake, you know. But I still can't believe that we've created this from TikTok to, well, not a stage musical, but a full musical.
Yeah,
and the fact that we raised so much is proof that it's in demand. It needs to happen more. Come on, guys. Just everyone starts pestering Disney, and Disney like, for God's sake, okay, we'll put it on. I was just worried, though, if Disney ever do take it forward, that they might not particularly keep what we've created. If Disney were to develop it themselves, I would be so frustrated if they did just go, okay, yes, we'll make your Ratatouille musical, but it won't be what you've made.
Yeah. There's this TikTok of this one guy saying that he like goes into theatre and he's like, oh, it's not like this, and that dance wasn't in there, and how dare they cut that? And I think that was the most real one that I've seen.
That would be us. That would be us going in if Disney did take it up as an opportunity, which they should, but they should keep the stuff that we've done.
But the one thing that I loved about the show itself was seeing that brand new song that Daniel wrote for the show, and I love that it was one of the original creators that managed to put something new into it, and it really showcased his talent and the way that he'd linked up like Emily's melody in it, and it just flowed so
Everyone
much.
was so talented.
Oh.
Everybody involved. I mean, even like the video editors, that was mind blowing. Another question for you. This is a really interesting question that's just popped into my head. Why purple?
Oh, that is a good question. Why purple? I've got a lot of flack for the purple because they say that it's too much like Six and
Really?
Cinderella.
But I love it.
I put the purple because the majority of the stacked vegetables were red and yellow, and yellow pops from purple, and so does red, and it's almost a little homage to the fur of Remy, because I could not put purplish gray within the ratatouille because no one wants to see purplish gray food. No. So the purple makes the colors pop, and it also is a little homage to really Remy's fur.
Yeah, no, I love purple. So it works. I think it just works perfectly. And I did notice it just, everything stands forward. If you get me, like, you know, even the big ratatouille at the top, it all pops on the purple. Whereas if you'd done black, I mean, it probably wouldn't have looked nice. I mean, yes, it would have stood out, but it wouldn't have been as. I think
black would have been too cold, I think.
Yeah, for a heartful story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was a tragic tale of a rat that died, maybe, but for what it is, I mean, it really does work. I think that is everything. I mean,
okay.
we've gone into why it's purple. We've got
that's the main question on everyone's mind.
The question that you've all been waiting for. Why is it purple? Now you know. Because yes, it does look a bit like Six, but you know what? Purple's a colour. You can't. If everyone says everything, from now on, if they're just like, oh, well, it's purple, it looks like Six, we can never use the colour purple again. You know?
I mean, the musical colour purple are just raging right now. If like Six has taken ownership of the literal colour purple.
Everybody's like, oh, it's too much like Six, and the colour purple is sat there like, are you sure? Because, you know, they can't claim the colour purple. And this is why Ratatouille is purple, guys. This is the one question I've been waiting to ask you, you know. That was it.
It's deep journalism, and I really appreciate it.
I just had to go into, you know, the rest of the story before I got to the question. Otherwise, I'd be like, what's he doing? Just get you on a Zoom call. Why is it purple?
And then that's it, yeah.
That's it. Ends call. Bye. See you next year. Yeah, no. But thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me and giving me the insight.
No problem.
It's been great.
It's been great to meet you, Robbie.
It's been really good. Thank you so much. So my last guest is the lovely Alec. So do you want to introduce yourself and say how you're involved in Ratatouille?
Yeah, so my name is Alec Powell, and I wrote the overture for the show.
It was so beautiful.
Thank you.
It really was. See, this is something I was really hoping for in the production. I was like, okay, so it's not a real production if we don't get an overture. And then we did. And it was stunning. I mean, the writing was incredible on your behalf. And then the performance.
Right. The Broadway Sinfonietta was so good. So good.
Yeah, incredible. So how did you come to get involved with the project then?
Yeah, so I saw a video on TikTok and I was like, okay, this is a little silly. And then I was driving home from work one day and I was TikToking while driving. Whoops. And I saw another video and I was like, oh, wait, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
So then I went home. I spent an hour, drafted, you know, what I would think Disney would make the overture sound like, and posted that, went to bed, and that's kind of the rest was history. As well.
Yeah, I was so pleased when I found out you were working on it. I was like, at least the overture is covered, guys. You know, it's and it's gonna be great. You know,
that's the scary part is, you know, with this guerrilla creation of a show, I had only
Yeah.
heard 2 songs, and so it's like, and the overture is usually one of the last things to be done. So it was
Yeah,
a wild time.
but it still fits so well, and it was a great start to what was an incredible performance.
Thank you.
It was. So what did you think of the show altogether then? What were your thoughts when you got to see the full thing?
You know, I didn't know what to expect, because I mean, as someone on the creative side, I knew just as much as someone who was going to be watching it.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased with the final product. It was quality, but also it kept the charm of what the original TikTok creators created. It felt very homey.
Yeah. It was perfect as well for Ratatouille as well. Just it was everything we needed, really. Although I would hope that even though Disney don't necessarily want it to, I would hope it would go further.
Yeah, I think all of us on the creative end would hope for that as well. I mean,
yeah.
Again, who knew this was going to happen? And who knows if Disney decides in the future, maybe this is a thing. I think,
Fingers crossed.
Right? Watching audience response, people were really receptive to it.
Yeah. And all the money we managed to raise as well. I think that alone says that it's popular, it's in demand, and it's something that we should definitely look into keeping, like,
exactly.
on Broadway, please. Thank you.
I mean, we're almost a week into it being up as a fundraiser, and they've almost raised $2 million. That's crazy.
That's insane. It's fantastic. And I will be
absolutely.
probably putting the fundraising link down below in the description of this video, because I've had a few of you guys in now. I've had Blake, I've had Jess, and we've had Nathan, and then we've had JJ from the cast, and we've had you. So hopefully that might bring a bit more in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if people enjoy it. So I'm hoping that. And then now there is the new the like encore streaming thing. We're going again.
It's coming back to its home platform.
Yes.
Which is so exciting. It really, if this is the end of the Ratatouille musical, it's a great little button to it all. But if not, and it's just this is the end of it in this current version, it should come back to TikTok.
It should. That's where it belongs. And at least I'll be able to watch it more than 12 times, like I already have.
Same.
Oops.
Sorry, not sorry.
Just so incredible. Honestly, love it so much. This is why we need for Disney to give us the rights to a cast recording. And we need Disney to let us stage the full show.
If anything, I just want a, post-COVID or done safely, I want a fully realized 3-minute songs, a longer overture, just fully produced. I want to see what
at
we
least
can do
one performance on a stage, just one, even if it's just one night, guys, and it's filmed. We'd be happy with that. We just want to see it once. Come on, Disney.
We deserve it.
Come on, we did this work, not you.
Right.
I mean, you may have created that, but we you didn't write the musical.
Exactly. We did the heavy lifting.
Yeah, we literally did. I mean, it was incredible that we managed to get a TikTok, since it's just gone straight from one TikTok to a musical, which with Broadway's best in as well. It's not just like a fan cast performance. It's got the best in there. I mean, look, Priscilla Lopez, that was a gorgeous little cameo for her. Is that a rat? Yeah. And Mary and Andrew, everybody in the show, Wayne, Titus, Ashley, I don't want to name everybody because I don't want to forget anybody. Andre, there you go. Just everything.
So much talent coming together for such a good cause. Just so definitely. Impressive.
It's like none of you guys made money from that. That was, the creation of it all was just for fun, and then obviously the performance that went out is for the Actors Fund, which is incredible, and they are doing such a good job too for raising money.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thank you so much for coming in and chatting to me about your absolute creative genius.
Thank you, no problem.
And because this is the last clip in the video, I want to thank everybody for watching. And if they fancy doing it, drop a little donation to the Actors Fund, because it is such a good cause and it's really needed in a time such as this global pandemic. But yes, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow me while you're there. You know, you may as well. And all of the creators and other people who've been in the video will also be linked below. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.